parents of a 2-month-old baby gave him away for beer and the promise of a cashier's check at a later date. On September 21st, the manager of Hideaway Campground in Benton County contacted 911 in Benton County to say that a couple that had been staying at the campground gave their baby boy away for a case of beer and the promise of a $1,000 cashier's check. When police responded to the scene, they saw a baby boy that needed medical care. Police spoke to individuals at the campground and they learned that a couple had been staying there for a while. They continually went around asking people for beer. It was a frequent thing. On this particular day, they asked someone for beer and the person was like, nah, not going to do that. So they went back to the camper that they were staying at. It seems like some of the other people that were staying there at the campground had gathered together. Maybe they were just hanging out. And one man who was pretty intoxicated decided that he was going to go to the camper that the couple with the baby were staying in and give them some beer. The intoxicated man, it seemed like, was concerned about the baby and just wanted the baby to be okay for the night. So he went and asked the parents of the baby if the baby could come stay with him for that night, if he could just watch the baby. And in exchange, he gave them beer. That man, who was driving a side-by-side, showed back up to where his friends were with the baby, who was wearing only a diaper and the baby's diaper bag. Shailene Ehlers and Darren Urban, who were the parents of the baby, had a discussion after the baby was gone. So they decided to go back up to where all the people were staying, all the other people, where their baby was now at, and tell the people that they would give them the baby permanently, like an adoption, for a case of beer and a $1,000 cashier's check. The cashier's check that they weren't even getting until Monday, so 2 days later. In order to make it official until they could make it permanent, they decided to write out on a piece of paper that they were doing this and have someone else record it as they signed it. What they wrote out said, "I, Darren Urban, and Shailene Ehlers are signing over our rights to Cody Martin," who was the man that signed the papers, "of our baby boy for $1,000 on 9/21/2024. That document is signed by Darren Urban and Shailene Edwards. It then goes on to say, "Disclaimer, after signing this, there will be no changing y'all two's minds and to never contact again." So police had that. They also had the recording of the two parents signing that document. They also spoke to a woman at the campground. The woman said that when the man came back with the baby, the intoxicated man, when he came back with the baby, this woman got the baby. She said that the baby smelled of ammonia, like from urine and fecal matter, that his diaper was full, that he had a terrible diaper rash and blisters on his bottom and swelling to his genitals and on his bottom. There was also dog hair in his diaper, which I think is a little weird. She said that the first thing she did was change the baby out of that dirty diaper and give him a bath. One of the men told police that before the document thing came up, Shailene Ehlers came to the camper that the baby was now at to speak with those people. And she spoke to a man outside and told that man that having 3 dogs and a baby, it just wasn't working. So that's why she was more willing to give up the baby. Police arrested Shailene Ehlers and Darren Urban and took them to the Benton County Sheriff's Office, where they spoke to them. Now, Shailene and Darren backed up pretty much the same story that the people at the campground gave. So Shailene Ehlers and Darren Urban were both arrested and charged with endangering the welfare of a minor in the first degree and attempting to commit consideration for relinquishing minor for adoption. I think I'm probably more irritated than I should be about the charges. Those are 2D felonies, so in all likelihood, they probably won't go to prison. Not only that, but the endangering the welfare of a minor charge is because they gave their baby to an intoxicated man. And from what I can tell, it seems like that intoxicated man had the baby's best interest in mind more than the parents. I think that intoxicated man going and getting that baby is probably what saved this baby in this situation. And I almost feel bad to think that, because I hate a person that drinks and drives or anything like that. But I think that this man probably, in all likelihood, saved this baby. That is, if the baby doesn't go right back to the parents that didn't want him to begin with. So, what's your opinion on this case?